Good afternoon, Jack Squad, YouTube family, and friends. How is everybody doing today? Now, hold on, I'm trying to get something together. How's everybody doing today? Okay, there it is. Okay. Now, I'm trying to do something, y'all. Let me see. Okay. Oh, wait, gotta turn it down. So since I am my own IT person, right? Okay, there, got it. Got it. Since I'm my own IT person, right? I said, let me figure out some things to do so I can see the comments as well as talk about what I'm talking about with the notes, right? So come on up in here, y'all. It's noonday. It's the narcissist hour. It's the dating and relationship hour. Come on up in here. I hope y'all seen it. Today, I done found out something new and I'm going to share it with y'all. Found out something new and I'm going to share it with y'all because it's very interesting. So, hey, Queen Supreme. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. So, okay, this is gonna work for me. All right. 'Cause I didn't want to keep looking all down and stuff. I'm trying to figure it out, and I done figured it out, y'all. I done figured it out. I was, in light of the bishop. I don't even know if we should call him bishop, because he was they had a name for people like that, fake pastors. But anyway. In light of, hey nephew, no, I'm not crying. No, I got allergies. No, I ain't crying. No, I keep tissue because my eyes run, child. I've been like that all my life. I just have allergies, and I got my fan on so the air makes my eyes water. So in light of the Lamar Whitehead, the fake bishop. They got a name for them. It's in the tip of my tongue. What are the fake pastors called? Oh, they got a name. They got a name. What is it? I'm going to have to Google that. What is it? It's on the tip of my tongue. That's going to bug me all day. But anyway, in light of Bishop Lamar Whitehead and being found guilty on all those charges, right? And his target audience was impoverished people, I'm going to say, right? I hope that's the right word. And to have taken advantage of those people did not have any money, and to take advantage of those people was dead ass wrong. Right now, when I watched his live yesterday, whatever day it was, I think I watched it last night. I seen a piece of it, but I really watched it last night until I couldn't watch it anymore. And as I was listening to him, like I said yesterday, he should have went somewhere and prayed, called his mama, talked to the ancestors. He should have did something more than tell us what he wanted to tell us. But that's when I realized that he was a narcissist. He cannot help that. Narcissists cannot help speaking on themselves, and they will not take accountability. They will not, right? And as he was talking, I said, oh my God, this is a narcissist I'm looking at, right? And then as I was looking up, because I always equated them, and before I even knew what a narcissist was, before I even knew that my ex was a narcissist, I knew he was demonic. I had deduced that myself, that he was demonic. Well, now we know that charlatan, that's what they call charlatan queen. That's the word, charlatan. And I had deduced for myself that he was demonic. I had deduced that to myself. Now, as time has went on and I've done my research, that's what they say. They're demonic creatures, right? Well, I was looking up something for today's topic to talk about, and when I Googled whatever I Googled, I can't remember what I Googled. It talked about a spiritual narcissist, right? He tried to make excuses for a spiritual narcissist. And let me give you the definition. It says a spiritual narcissist is someone who uses faith and spirituality to manipulate others and obtain a narcissistic supply to boost their ego. They need that supply. So when he would go to church on Sundays and with all his fabulousness and all his designer pieces, and then there are people there that's probably barely able to pay their rent and pay their bills and get food for the week, right? That didn't faze him. Spiritual narcissist, that didn't faze him. I didn't even know it was a thing, right? But I guess it would be, because I was looking up something else. And that came, and I said, oh, this is very apropos for what is going on right now. Hey, G-Pal. And this, he preyed upon, he fed, because narcissists need a supply. All them people praying and hoping and wishing, you know, because most church folks, like myself, we go to church for hope. For hope. Hope things gonna get better. Hope this happen. Hope this happen. Hope, 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 right? And he preyed upon the most vulnerablest people, religious po folks. He preyed upon religious po folks. And what I do not understand for the life of me is how. I understand 10%. I understand tithing. If you got it, I understand that. I believe in that when you have it, right? These people were coming to a storefront church that was up the steps. This I don't know what, it was up some steps. I don't even know what kind of church. But you know, New York is crowded. So these people were coming, giving him their earnings. The lady turned over her retirement money, and you did what you wanted to do with the money. Now, in his description of what happened and why it happened, he said nothing about the money that he owed, all the fraudulent activities, all the scheming, all the scamming. He said nothing about that, which is what he was charged with. He said it was because of he wouldn't be a snitch on Mayor Eric Adams. That's what he said, right? No accountability. As I'm watching him talk, I'm like, there's no accountability. He ain't gonna say, I'm sorry I took that lady's whole retirement money, 90,000, whatever it was. I'm sorry that I did that. None of that, right? Oh, thank you, Queen. Queen say my chocolate is glowing. Thank you. And as I'm listening to him, I'm like, oh my God. Now, what I would like to know is what his wife has to say. Did she really love him? Do she realize who he is? Was she in on it? Is she gonna leave him? Like, I got a lot of questions, right? But let me tell you what I found out. Oh, that's something else I want to talk about. Let me tell you what I found out about the narcissist and what I had deduced myself, right? So when the devil can't get to you, they send a narcissist. This is the person who's going to charm you. It's like the snake charmer. This is the person, you know, and I equate it to like the snake didn't the snake tell Eve to bite the apple and tell Adam to do all that? So I equate it to they have charms, snake like a snake, right? And so when the devil can't get you, and when my ex came into my life, it was when I had made a conscious decision and put action on it to change my life. So then here it comes, right? The devil wouldn't be attacking you so hard if there wasn't something holy inside of you. Thieves don't break into an empty house. Remember that, right? So this guy preyed upon these people. Only an evil person can walk in there with all your fancy wares and look at all those poor folks and take their money. Only an evil person can do that and smile and grin in his face. And as I was listening to him yesterday, he said, yeah, I'm still a man of God. Because that's how narcissists is. They don't see no wrong in what they do. They ain't going to take no accountability. And I still am the greatest thing on earth, right? And like I said, as I was watching this, that's when I came to this realization. Now, I could be wrong, but I doubt it. And it says here, all narcissists operate from the same playbook as wolves in sheep clothing. Hypocrites, that's the word. That is the word we're using for this man. Evil. That's it. They're hypocrites. Right? You took these people money. How could you go to sleep at night? You know, when I knew he was crazy, he had the press conference after they robbed him, which I don't know what that was about, right? Hey, Neek. He had what you say about the children. He said, please don't post. Yeah. That's another thing. He said, don't post this because he got kids. So what about the people whose money you took? You don't think they got kids and family and people that love him? That's what I'm telling you. When I was watching this, I don't even know if I watched it all, because I got to a point, it was like, I can't watch no more of this. I cannot watch any more of this. As soon as he started talking about the kids and all that, I tuned out. I got off of it because I was like, oh, he's a real nut. Instead of being repentful, is that a word? Repentful, and trying to figure out a way to not go to jail for 45 years, because you getting on telling us we can't do nothing for you. We can't do nothing for you. We'll talk about you like we're doing now. And I said, this man is a narcissist, right? Now let me tell you what else I found out about the spiritual. Now, this, like I said, this is what I knew for myself. I figured it out. You need armor from God. He is the only one with the power to intervene in this insidious satanic cruelty. Let me repeat that, because that's a lot, right? You need armor from God, which I had figured out. I go to God for a lot of things, everything. He is the only one with the power to intervene this insidious satanic cruelty. And you have to take it to God or whoever you believe in, right? But you have to take it to him, right? And so that could be, and the spiritual narcissist could be a preacher, a pastor, a bishop, a priest, a reverend, any of those old charlatans that's getting up telling you what you need to do to better yourself by giving to them. And then you get nothing in return but hope. You get nothing in return but blind hope. That's what you get. You get blind hope, right? Let me tell you what else hold on, let me find it. Because I looked at this until I was in the bed, of course. Y'all know that's when I do my best work. But I looked at this until I couldn't look at it anymore, right? So just imagine a narcissist usually is you in a relationship. He's trying to control and manipulate you, one person, right? The spiritual narcissist, they crave control, but they do it through spirituality, right? So just imagine you have all these people that are listening and looking up to you and believing you, and you feeding off of them because they're energy vampires, right? They believe that their spirituality makes them superior to others. So every Sunday he would go in there and get fed for the week. When you go to church, you're supposed to be going to get fed, right? You need to get your spiritual nourishment to carry you through the week, right? He was getting fed off of these people that was looking up to him, praising him, and giving him their money, right? They can be incredibly alluring. So his allure, and I don't even understand it, but a lot of times, and I ain't talking about nobody, but I'm just saying what it is. When you have poor, less educated people that are looking for hope, those are the easiest folks to trick and manipulate, right? So spiritual narcissists are in a position of authority. And they're incredibly alluring. So when he would walk in there, I don't know what kind of car he was driving. I think he had a fancy car too. And he'd walk in there with all his fancy duds. Somebody of lesser intelligence saw him as the greatest. That's all I'm saying, right? This allows them to deceive and manipulate religious individuals who are open and trustworthy, and in ensuring a continual source of narcissistic supply. So a spiritual narcissist, I'm going to say, is even worse creature than just a narcissist, because they need all these people. They need all these people, and they lie and manipulate a number of people at one time, right? A number of people at one time. And I just thought it was so, I don't even know the word to use, that he would get on there and talk about somebody else, which is what they do. Narcissist is never they're going to put it on somebody else. So now he's putting it on Eric Adams. Nothing about the money that he stole. And you steal an old lady's retirement. How do you lay down and go to sleep at night? I also want to know the same thing about his wife. Do they have conversations like, "Babe, you should have took that money. You should have gave that back"? Like, what's the conversation like at home? I always want to know what the conversations is like at home, right? So narcissists use spirituality and religion as an excuse to hurt others, right? They have twisted, toxic faith and an inflated view of their own worth. Now, I was thinking to myself, I said, okay, he's going to go to the penitentiary, right? He's going to go to the penitentiary. Now, for how long, I don't know, but 45 years is on the table, right? That would be horrible, be the rest of your life. But if you haven't repented, if you're not sorry for what you did, maybe you should sit for 45 years. I don't know. I'm not a judge, and so I can't put a time on how long somebody should be in prison. I can't call it, because I think if you damage people, you need to pay for that. You need to pay for that. And it sounds to me, horrible that somebody is never going to get out of jail. It don't matter who you are, but somebody to never ever get out of jail or to die in prison is just a horrible thought to me. That's a horrible waste of life, right? So it's hard for me to talk and speculate about how much time somebody should do, because I don't believe, in case y'all don't know, I don't believe in the death penalty. I believe you should go away forever and ever, never get out if that's, what you did. I don't believe in the death penalty because I don't believe that we can call somebody's unaliveness. I don't think we have the authority for that. That's just what I think. But if you did something, definitely go and sit for the rest of your life. I just don't believe in the death penalty, But as you see, and then they're gonna make examples out of these Negroes. I'm amazed at how many pastors and people in general continue to. Me too, Nick. That's what I do not understand this. Let me tell y'all, if I ain't afraid of nobody on this earth, I am afraid of God. I am afraid for the punishment that he gonna hand down to me, because I done been punished. I done had my ass whooped by the Lord before, right? I don't want that. And I think I used to have a dumb way of thinking. I used to think, okay, whatever I did wrong, I did it to myself. I didn't hurt nobody else. That was my way of thinking when I did some shit I know I ain't had no business doing, right? But today, I ain't trying to do nothing wrong at all, because I have had my punishment from the Lord, and I don't want to experience that ever again, right? So to get up in the name of God and call yourself a man of God and take from people who don't have it, shit, you're going to bust hell wide open. You can bust hell wide open for something, because I don't know. I think it's a special place in hell for you. And when you lying to people in the name of God, right? I was always taught you don't play. You don't. Why would you play with God? And then, to me, I'm frightened. I wouldn't want to be around him. That's why I said I want to know how his wife think. Because what kind of creature are you? Like, I wouldn't even be with a dude as money hungry as I am. I would not be with a dude that is taking folks' money. I just would not. I would not be the pastor's first lady and knowing he taking from these people who probably walked here. I couldn't be part of that. I could not be part of that. I could not. And like I've said, when I was getting ready to say, after he did the press conference, and then he said, I'm going to show y'all, this is how crazy he is. This is when I knew he was crazy. He said, I'm going to show y'all my prayer closet. Now, I had a prayer closet in my house, right? I took all the clothes out of a closet in my bedroom, and it had a stoop in there. I don't know if I told y'all. I had a stoop. Just so happened this closet had a stoop in it. And I would go in there and sit or put my sticky notes, and I would pray and talk to God in my prayer closet, right? So I'm thinking he gonna show me his prayer closet. Let's see, right? Child, it was a walk-in closet, illuminated walk-in closet where he had clothes and shoes and all his designer stuff. And he was pointing it all out. And I knew right then, I said, something wrong with him. Something is all the way wrong with him. This ain't no prayer closet, nigga. What is this, right? I knew something was wrong. Still don't know that he's a narcissist. I'm still learning about this stuff. But yesterday when I saw him on that live, it clicked right in. Right? Hey, Lisa Marie. It clicked right in. And when he did what he put himself in the penitentiary. Now, maybe he was on their radar anyway, low key, underlined, But the fact that you get a press conference, you start going live, you start talking all crazy. And see, you can't be a pastor, reverend, bishop, priest, and still street talk. You can't do that. You got to show reverence, right? And so when he was saying, yeah, I kick your ass and I do this and I do that, that ain't no preacher talk. That ain't preacher talk, right? You got to do preacher talk. You can't be, you can say that in the privacy with your friends or your family in your living room, in your bedroom. But to tell that be saying that out for the world to see, he told on himself. I'm telling you, he brought the spotlight on himself. And like I said, maybe, but the lady did tell that he took her money, but even with that, he should have went to her and tried to give her some of that money back. I think he had opportunity to get that money back before she went and told. I'm sure she probably said, I'm going to tell on you. I don't know. But he's a hot mess and he's going straight to it. He busting it wide open. Like, you could not possibly think that after they don't think. That's the thing about narcissists. They don't think that they've done anything wrong. They don't. I'm telling you, I watched it with my own eyes. It's a sight to see. They do not think. And me not knowing what I was involved with, I used to be so baffled and confused. And what kind of nigga is you? I used to be, especially when you come from a good family and all like that. Like, the other folks wasn't like that. Like, what is wrong with you? When I watched Lamar Whitehead, I said, oh no. So they say a religious narcissist will try to shame you, try to control you, and make you feel afraid. So that's what he was probably doing to them good old church folks that he had, his 12 members, as T said. He was taking, and then, so one thing you can't do, I learned this too as a young girl, you cannot straddle the fence. You can't be street and then you come to church on Sunday and be a pastor. You don't work like that. He probably could have avoided this whole, if they not, yeah. He could. That's what I'm saying. But if you got to think about it, narcissists don't take accountability. So if you don't think you did nothing wrong, you ain't trying to fix shit you don't think is wrong. He killed his own self. He shot his own self in the head, quite frankly, because that lady that lady that trusted you with her money, that means she had some feeling for you. She looked up to you. She probably loved you. You was the pastor. People love their pastor. Don't talk about pastor, right? And if he had used that manipulation to smooth it over, he might not be in such a bad shape. Even though he was doing other scamming and fraud. And I didn't watch the what's the lady name? The lawyer lady, Pam, the intellectual, I think it's called Pam, the intellectual Esquire, the content creator. I only watched a few minutes of what she had to say because it was long about his charges. But he had 4 or 5 charges. He got a lot of charges, right? And it was not no small, insignificant charges, will fool you right in the prison of greed and lies. Yeah, well, he right where he need to be. Now, he right where he need to be. He better quit shining them lips up. I know that. Let me see. So it says they may also use their spiritual expertise and authority to gaslight you until you start doubting yourself. So he probably was in there telling them people all kind of stuff, making them give him money. He was telling them all kind of stuff. That's what he was doing. Yeah, he was teaching them. So here it says 5 signs someone might be a spiritual narcissist, right? I'm sure they're the same as the regular narcissist, but we'll see. So it says a spiritual narcissist can be incredibly insidious and hard to recognize. I think I don't know if that would be hard to recognize for me, but I guess if you're not knowing, it would be hard to recognize, right? We believe that they are highly spiritual, wise, generous, and peaceful. No, okay, I misread that. Due to our stereotypes about spiritual leaders, we believe that they are highly spiritual, wise, generous, and peaceful. You may not suspect your spiritual guru to be a narcissist because you expect them to be compassionate and do good things for others. However, such stereotypes and beliefs can be highly deceptive. So here are the signs. They hijack conversations. They control every conversation. So who best to be a spiritual narcissist than a preacher man? Preacher man is a perfect person to be a spiritual narcissist because they hijacked the conversation. So he had them people's full attention. No telling all what he was saying up in there. Now that I think about it, you know what I'm saying? He had their full attention, and he could be as attention-seeking and obnoxious and full of himself as he wanted to be. That matter of fact, that's a prime job for a narcissist to be a preacher. That he get all his supply from that, right? They may intrude on your private talks with others by leveraging their power and expertise. They hijack your conversations under the pretext of assisting or supporting you. So it's real good mind control. But in truth, they lack empathy and are uninterested in exchanging ideas. You know, and I used to tell my ex, like, it has to be hard. You know, I didn't know what he was. I just knew he was crazy. I used to be like, it's got to be hard to be you. Because I realized years later that he was pretending to me. He was pretending to like this. He was pretending to be that. He was doing a lot of pretending. And I was like, that got to be hard to be pretending you like something you don't really like it. That's got to be hard. Yeah, he's going to do prison ministry. Because he's a narcissist, so he's going to need a supply. He's going to need somebody to listen to him and pay attention to him. He's definitely going to be in the prison ministry, of course. He's going to start a group. He's going to do a whole bunch of stuff. Hey, Mariah Minutes. He's going to do a bunch of stuff because he'll have their full attention because where they're going. So whoever follows him, he's going to have a following. And you got to remember, he's gangster. So he's going to have a following. He's going to get the supply he needs. He ain't going to get no woman, but he's going to get what he needs in there. When they injure you, the spiritual narcissist may use gaslighting to diminish your emotional reactions, rejecting them as irrelevant, and sending the message that your perspective and feelings don't matter. That's why he didn't mention about all the money he took, especially that lady's whole retirement money that he took. Her whole $90,000, right? They play the victim instead, accusing you of being ungrateful. So he is playing the victim because he said he is playing the victim because he said the only reason why he in trouble is because he wouldn't snitch on the mayor. That ain't why you in trouble, sir. You took them people money, you scammed, you schemed, you frauded, you lied, you stole. That's why you get on your way to the penitentiary, right? And you know, listen, I don't know, he know, but you know, the feds don't play. They're a different creature. They ain't like police and the state. No, they're a whole different creature, right? They ain't gonna show him. They act, number 2 sign, they act as though they have never made any mistakes. And they criticize others for their mistakes. So they're very critical of other folks. That was one thing I couldn't understand with my ex. He would always say stuff like, you don't do this and you don't do that when I'm doing it all. Right. And when, by him kept saying it, that's what made me realize it ain't me, it's him. Something wrong with him. It ain't me because I know what I'm doing. I know who I am. It's him. That's when I realized that, when he kept saying that. Right. They blame others for their errors, making people around them feel bad about something they didn't say or do. That's such a crazy world to be in. Because their practice of criticizing everything you say or do might make you feel defective all the time, you will go out of your way to satisfy the spiritual narcissist. Hence, they was giving him all that they had. They was giving him all that they had. And you think you can satisfy them, but they're never satisfied. That's one thing. They're never satisfied. Never. They can tell you do X, Y, Z, and you do X, Y, Z, and it still won't be enough. And that's what I realized. Shit, it ain't me. It's you. Something wrong with this nigga. Something all the way wrong with him. You know, here I am being the best Jackie I can possibly be that I've ever been in a relationship in my life. Best Jackie for me and the best Jackie for a man. And if this ain't enough, nigga, shit, go ahead on. Number 3 sign, that you're with a spiritual narcissist is that they talk at you but never listen. Like I said, being in that pulpit was that was prime real estate for him, because he can do that fed a narcissist ego and its supply well, because they talking and they ain't listening. That's what he did. He talked to them about their money, told them, gave them false hope, and then went on ahead and lived his luxurious life when he left them, right? Many people turn to their spiritual leaders for reassurance and support, expecting understanding, empathy, and trust. And they can't give you none of that. However, spiritual narcissists are incapable of listening and providing genuine support. They enjoy being the center of attention, so they're usually loud and outspoken. Again, who better to be a spiritual narcissist? A pastor. He can talk loud. He can be loud as he want to be. Walk around, command the stage, and do all of that. With a pulpit, whatever he had. Spiritual narcissists might be easily offended and angered if you don't listen to them or follow their advice, making you feel bad for disregarding them. And that's what he was trying to do. He was trying to convince us that we didn't know what we knew, and the judge and the lawyers and the people that you took their money, we trying to convince us that wasn't what happened. Now, number 4 sign that you're with a spiritual narcissist is they are constantly judging others. So the compassion, forgiveness, and love they are meant to promote, spiritual narcissists constantly criticize and judge others all of the time, right? They bolster their own ego by degrading others. And a lot of people do that. That don't mean they're narcissists, but that's something that a narcissist does do. And I noticed, like with my ex, he liked to, and I know a lot of men like that. They like to get somebody who they deem beneath them, right? So they can feel good about themselves when they're around them. If I give you this little kibble a bit, you should be grateful. And then that boosts up their ego, right? Like I told you, give her a couple of cigarettes, give $20 or something, she didn't require much. Spiritual narcissists will use any chance to blame others for what they see as flaws. Now, here's number 5. Now, they probably should have started with this one. They manipulate scripture to justify their actions. That's going straight to hell. A spiritual narcissist will profess love, kindness, and compassion, yet never show it in their deeds. So I wonder, did he ever, in churches you give away the turkeys. Did he ever give out food baskets? Did he ever go see the sick and shut in? Like, I wonder, did he do any good deeds? I wonder, did he do any good deeds? They will use their scripture to prove their viewpoints while ignoring passages that contradict their ideas and points of view. That take a lot of work. Like I said, that's got to be a lot of work to be a narcissist. That's a lot of work. That's too much work. It's so much easier to just be nice and loving and kind. It's so much easier. He'll go down to the prison cell with those same lies in his head. He may have fooled old ladies with the flock, but he can't. He can't fool us. But when he go there will be somebody that's going to follow him. There'll be somebody that's going to follow him. A lot of somebody's is going to follow him. Because he when you're a narcissist too, it's certain type of people that draw to you, right? It's certain type of people. Like, I'm an empath, and they say, and we're going to talk about that in the upcoming weeks. But they say that empaths are the ones, because we have what they don't. We're empathetic, we're sympathetic, right? They ain't got that, so they draw it from us. That's my take on it. I've been reading up on it and researching it, but I'm gonna go deep into it in the upcoming weeks, right? How to deal with a spiritual narcissist? Because most narcissists never change. That's scary. It may be prudent to cut off all ties with them. Yeah, I figured that out on my own too. Way before I knew he was in there, I like that. Cut it off. Got to cut it off, right? However, if you decide to continue in a relationship with a spiritual narcissist for any reason, here's some advice on how to protect yourself. Let's see what the people say. First, you got to identify the abuse. If you don't know it's a problem, you can't solve it, right? So that makes sense. Spiritual narcissists meticulously pick vulnerable and trusting people as their narcissistic supply. They are, however, selective about whom they reveal their actual nature. So that's why I want to know, did he really reveal to the wife? Did he ever have a conversation with the wife? Did they ever be at home saying, shit, girl, look what we got today? Like, I want to know what their conversation is like at the house when he was doing all the things that he was doing and walking in there with these designer pieces, and the people don't have a car and can barely eat. I want to know what the conversation is like with his wife. Did he reveal it to her? Did he reveal it to her? Their toxic behavior can go unnoticed for a long time, but recognizing a narcissist's actions as abusive is the first step toward learning how to deal with them. So they say set boundaries. I think in my mind, the only way to deal with a narcissist is to not to. Now, I did do it. I was in the house with one, and we were no longer having relations, and he was just in the house. And I guess the boundary that I set was I just didn't communicate with him. I just didn't talk to him. I ignored him, which drives him bananas. I just ignored him, I was reading the other night about what happens when you ignore a narcissist, but I will go into that in another time. But I would just ignore him, and I realized that when I first started ignoring him, it wasn't to make him go crazy. And I was just like, I'm not talking to you anymore. It was for me. I'm not talking to you no more. Put the money on the table. Go ahead on, right? But then I realized that it drove him bananas, and so I got a thrill. So now I'm just as sick as him because I got a thrill out of doing it. I'm getting my lick back. Yeah. That was towards the end. I was at the end though. Learn to say no to their demands and express your displeasure with their intrusion into your privacy. It's hard to tell them no because you can tell them no, but that's when the conflict starts. Narcissists don't respect other people's boundaries, so they will try to break them. So be gentle but firm in setting limits. That's what they say do. That's what they say do. I just know that I don't think it's healthy. So if he's your spiritual narcissist, leave that church, period. You ain't got to set no boundaries. Just go on about your business. I couldn't, if you're spiritual, if the narcissist in your life is your pastor, the most simple, easy thing to do is go to another church. You ain't got to set no boundaries. How you going to set a boundary and you going to see him and listen to him talk and put ideas and thoughts in your head every Sunday? No, just leave him alone. That's what I would do. Just leave him alone. There's no need to have further dealings with a spiritual narcissist. But I find that religious people, I like to think I'm religious, right? A lot of religious people are easily to be taken advantage of, right? Because people look at their pastor like he is God. I've seen it all my life, right? And you can have respect for your pastor, you can have love for your pastor, and you can listen to your pastor. But sometimes your pastor do some dumb shit. You be like, wait a minute, hold it. Do you question it? I don't know, depending on the relationship you have with him, but you definitely don't have to do what he say do if you don't believe in what he's talking about, right? And I think that as a pastor, you have a duty. Let me see how I want to put this. As a pastor, you have a duty when you're telling somebody something, it should be from scripture. When you preach it, whatever, you should have something, your receipts, as they say, to prove what you're talking about. That's what I think. It should come from whatever holy book that you use. It should come from there and then go from there. That's what I think. Yeah, that's what I think. So if I'm going to a church and I think my pastor is a spiritual narcissist, I'm just not going to be there. I'm just not going to be there. And just this thought just came in my head. That guy, him, I would like to have seen a church service. He probably didn't even read no scriptures. Now that I'm thinking about it, you couldn't. You could, if he did, he's really super crazy because you couldn't read the scripture and then twist it and turn it into whatever he twisted and turned it into. Now I know they ain't cut no grass. Ain't no grass to cut. Oh, that's over there on that side. So, you know, I just think that if you have a spiritual narcissist as your pastor, just get the fuck away from him. That's just simple as that to me. Simple as that. Just go on about your business and have a good day. But a lot of times, like I said, a lot of people are not that intellectually astute, right? So they still hanging on to hope, right? Even though in the back of your mind you be like, well, that ain't right, Pastor. You said this before, but he say something else to draw you in and keep you in, right? Yeah, yeah. That's what happens. That's what happens. And that's kind of scary, right? Now that I'm thinking about it, like cult leaders, right? Like Jim Jones and that boy that just did life. I wonder would they be considered narcissists? I wonder. I don't know. I have to think about that. Because they had people's lives and they had no empathy. I know that guy that got life, he had no empathy. He would eat food in front of them and they would be hungry. I don't know what could so in self-preservation is the first law of man. If I'm hungry and you're eating and I'm hungry and I'm sitting right in your face while you eat the sandwich, at some point I'm gonna take a piece of that sandwich. Because we're animals, right? Just seem like you're gonna give me a piece. If you ain't gonna give me a piece, I'm gonna take a piece. Right? So to have somebody's mind in your hands or in your pocket is very, very powerful and very, very scary. And now as I'm talking it out, that's why they gave that boy life. You can't let nobody like that out. Because and a lot of these cult leaders and people that's religious leaders, a lot of these big cults, the people end up being unalived. So now I see why they gave him life. I understand a little better now. I thought that was kind of harsh. But now as I talk it out, I understand you can't let that out. Because if you let him out and then the next time he go harder and somebody lose their life, then now it's on you. Yeah, 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 yeah. I get it now why they gave him life. Because I was like, ooh, that was harsh. But he also did some sexually deviant stuff too. So can't let him out. He's the devil. He's just pure evil. You can't. Yeah, I see. And that's what they're gonna do. That's what they're gonna do to him. Because in 45 years, and this is another thing I don't understand. So you'd have been to court and found you guilty, and for you to go on live and disrespect the judge in them and say, only reason why this is happening because of this, and that, boy, they see that. That's what's gonna get them. That's what's gonna get them. That's what's gonna get him the whole 45 years, right? Or almost all of it, because you disrespectful. Just like Jonathan Majors. Did he defend himself? And then he got up there and started talking crazy. Like, you got to respect the court of law, period. You got to respect it, right? And so if you disrespect it, either in the courtroom or outside of the courtroom, they don't like that. And so he is a spiritual narcissist. Bishop, we don't even call him Bishop no more. His name is Lamar Whitehead, right? And I think the reason why he's changed the spelling of his name is because he was some trickery going on. Being narcissistic, sociopathic, and psychopathic all have similar traits and characteristics. However, many people have traits of their but it doesn't always make them one. That is true. That is true. That is true. That is true. That is true, nephew. That is true. But I do believe, now I ain't diagnosed nobody, but I do believe this guy, Lamar Whitehead, was a spiritual narcissist. Because he had the perfect platform, the perfect stage to do all that. And then he did all that, right? And just by the way he talked, when he was talking on that live, I was like, all kind of bells and flags is going off in my head. I'm like, oh man, this dude here. You know, I'm so proud of myself, y'all. My little setup. Let me tell y'all what I did, because I've noticed, I always look at my lives and I noticed my head would always be down, or close up, right? Because I'm trying to read the comments. I said, okay, Jack, you got to stop that, right? So I have a little baby stand over here, right? Where I can put I know y'all probably see me looking over to the right, where I can put my phone on this stand and see the comments instead of going all up close, looking like I'm blind, trying to read the comments. So I'm happy with myself. And I just had to tell y'all that, because I did, right? Because I'm proud of myself. I'm really proud of myself. I thought of this last night. I was laying in the bed, already in the bed, comfy, cozy, right? And I said, what must I do? Because every day I'm trying to think of how to better myself with YouTube and my life and all aspects of my life, right? And I said, let's try this, Jackie. Let's try this. And that's what I did. And it worked. And I can see. I can see it because it's lit up, right? I can see it. And when I get my glasses, now I thought my vision was pretty good, even though I know that I had weak vision in one of my eyes, but it's going to be really powerful when I get them glasses. I agree. If he was reading scripture and getting the people to do what he wants, yes, I think he was a narcissist. Yeah. When I listened to that live, I was like, ooh, it was cringy to me. Like I said, I don't think I heard the whole live, because after he started talking about, well, don't y'all watch what y'all say and don't talk, my kids be looking at this. Nigga, you supposed to, you watch what you say and do. The better you, yeah, I try that. Nephew, I've been trying that for almost 20 years now. I wasn't really conscious of it younger, right? But when I decided to change my life and stop doing fuckery and shenanigans, I made a conscious decision that every day I'm trying to be better. So my what I do is at night, if I can think about it, if I'm not too tired, right, I go over my day. From this to that, I go over my day and see how I can be better. And I'm really, really, really trying to be better with my YouTube, because this is what I'm gonna be doing for a long time, right? So I'm trying to think of ways that make it better for me, and it is a better look for the people that's looking at me, right? And I got out my bed, even though I don't want to. I got out my bed and set it up and turned on my StreamYard and said, okay, let's see how this could do, because it's only me. It's only me, so I got to figure it out, right? Y'all know my motto. I ain't been saying it because I ain't been doing no videos, but you got to make it happen for yourself. I swear to God, I live by that. I live by that. God got you, yeah. Yeah. Thank you, Lisa Marie. I got right out of bed. I got out of my bed a couple times to do some YouTube stuff. I was up last night till about 3, right? Till about 3, because I had to watch my shows, and then after my shows, and I start thinking about stuff, and I go over my day, and so that's what I came up with, and I'm really quite proud of myself, y'all. I'm very proud of myself, right? Because I got my little setup, I got my little situation going, right? So anyway, that's all of that for that. Now tonight is today Wednesday, right? Is members, right? Y'all inbox me, text me, email me of what we want to talk about. I got some things that I want to talk about it the way I want to talk about it. I got what I want to talk about and how I want to talk about it. Did y'all see that you are doing your thing, Queen, figuring things out daily? Yes. If you make steps, and I live by that. That's my other motto. So I got 3 mottos, y'all. Make it happen for yourself. Faith without works is dead. And if you take one step, God will do the rest. I live by that. I live by that because I've seen that. He done did it for me, right? So I know if I keep doing what I'm doing and try to be the best at what I'm doing, it's got to work out. Shit, it's got to work out, right? Yeah. Had that type of dedication. Yeah. So, I'm doing it, right? And a lot of my friends say that, but I've been this way all my life. If you is all you have, now just think about this. If you are all you have, you got to do it. You all you got. You know what I'm saying? I wish I did have had a mom and a daddy and grandmama and all them people you can go run to and do shit for, and they're just going to do stuff for you. But I didn't. So you are all that you have. And that's all that I know is to do for me. That's all I know. It's really like not a big challenge. It's second nature to me because shit, who going to do it? Look over here, look over there. Ain't nobody there. Now, true enough, people have helped me along the way. Somebody helping me now. But I'm saying for the most part, I'm it. I am it, right? I am it. You know what I'm saying? So, I lay in the bed and I have thoughts. And that's why my mind I don't sleep a lot. I haven't slept a lot. Let me be honest with y'all. I haven't slept a lot. My sleeping habits changed. And it's been a long time ago. But my sleeping habits changed when I went away on vacation, right? Because I would stay up all night so I could have peace. This is when I realized I needed peace. I need to be by myself. Even though as sociable as I am and as much as I talk and I like all the people around me and having fun, I need time to myself. I'm totally two-sided, right? And so when everybody would go to bed at 8, 9 o'clock, I would be up watching TV until 4 o'clock count sometime, because that's when at 4 o'clock count, you got to be in your bed, right? And then I had to work at 6:30. So I conditioned myself years ago in my 30s to not require much sleep. I read a quote when I was in my 20s of a lady, I don't know who it was, and she said, anything over 5 hours is too much. And I live by that, right? So it might be bad for me in the long run, I don't know, but I cannot just sleep 8 hours. That's too much damn time. I can't. My body gonna wake up, right? So I could be up most nights to 2 or 3. And now that my schedule has changed to what I want it to be, I'm probably going to be up to 2 or 3 because I do stuff. After I watch TV, then it's stuff I got to do. I get on my computer and I do stuff, right? Now, when I get my man, when I get y'all an uncle, then we're going to cut that out. Some of that going to be cut out because I'm going to have another job to be doing. But right now, I get up out my bed a lot and be doing stuff a lot because I got to figure shit out, right? So that's just how I roll, y'all. So anyway, it's a lot of noise and it's distracting me. They're doing something outside, and so it's distracting me, y'all. So I'm gonna be tonight at 8 o'clock is for the members. I'm gonna set it up and put it out. I'm gonna schedule it in a minute. But like I said, y'all got something y'all want me to talk about? Holler at me. Oh, what I was getting ready to tell y'all is we're gonna talk about it tonight because I can't talk about it the way I want to talk about it. Is Simon put up a post and said and insinuated that somebody got Portia's mind. Now, you knew she was a slowhead when you got with her, right? And something happened yesterday. We are getting older. We require more sleep. It can be unhealthy to slip minimal numbers of hours. Got to take care. Yeah, that's true. But I rest. See, the thing about me, Lisa, is I might not sleep, but I rest. I do a lot of resting. I get in bed at 5 o'clock in the afternoon and don't go to sleep till damn near 5 in the morning. But I get in the bed at 5. I get in bed early, right? And lay down. I don't sleep a lot like that. But Simon put up a cryptic post. It wasn't so cryptic, but he's insinuating like somebody got Portia's mind, somebody telling him what to do. Yesterday he was on a yacht, and it said that it's insinuated that this woman was on the yacht. Somebody by style, some woman that if you close one eye, she looked like Portia, right? Everybody know her. I went to her Instagram. But we're gonna talk about it tonight because I think that Simon is unraveling. No matter how much he posts 10, 15 times a day and how much fun he have and how much money he got. We're gonna talk about it though. We're gonna talk about it. That's going to be. Oh, wait, what? I missed something. Can't wait to get an Yeah. I'm working on it, child. Listen, I'm going out tomorrow. I'll be so motherfucking cute. I'm going out tomorrow, Jack. Yeah. I got my little fit. I don't care what the weather is. I'm wearing my thigh-high boots. I'm gonna take a picture and put it on the thing. I might do a dance tomorrow. I don't know. Sleep is crucial, important. It is. But like I said, I rest. It is. It's very important. But I just can't. I can't sleep a lot. You know what I'm saying? I want to sleep a lot, but I can't. And for me, when I got stuff on my mind, I'm very anxious, right? And my body ain't gonna allow me to sleep. Shit, I got shit to do. I got to make it happen. Shit, I can't sleep. I got to make it happen. No rest for the weary. But yeah, they making a noise. They cutting grass and doing something outside. So tonight it's 8 o'clock. It's gonna be members, and y'all email me, text me, whatever about what y'all want me and us to discuss the way Jack Squad discuss it. Cuss words at all. Okay. So y'all be good. Have a great rest of your day. Till I see y'all tonight at 8 o'clock. Bye bye.